Body Fluids and Circulation, Session 12. In this module, we are going to learn about regulation of cardiac activity. Cardiac cycle involves systole or diastole. As we have already learned, it is the contraction and relaxation of the heart chambers, which is carried out automatically by the nodal tissues of the heart. The SAN or the sinoatrial node, the AV node, atrioventricular node, and the bundle of His. Hence, the heart is called as myogenic, which means originating in the muscles. And our body has the capacity to increase or decrease the cardiac output whenever it is required. It is because the cardiac activity is regulated by the autonomous nervous system. In class 10, we learned about the two types of nervous system, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. In addition to these two, there is another type of nervous system called as the autonomous nervous system, and this is controlled in the neural center, that is the medulla oblongata in the brain. The ANS or the autonomous nervous system is again divided into two: the sympathetic nerves and the parasympathetic nerves. The sympathetic nerves helps to increase an activity, whereas the parasympathetic nerves acts antagonistic or opposite to the sympathetic nerves. So let us understand how the ANS helps in regulating the cardiac activity. The sympathetic nervous system will increase the cardiac output by increasing the heart rate and the strength of the ventricular contractions. Whereas the parasympathetic nervous system, as I had already told, it will act antagonistic to the sympathetic nervous system. It will decrease the cardiac output by decreasing the heart rate and the strength of ventricular contractions. So, by the help of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, the ANS will regulate the cardiac activity according to the need of the body. The cardiac output is also influenced by certain adrenal medullary hormones. In this diagram, we can see that the sympathetic nerves helps to raise the cardiac output and the parasympathetic nerves helps to bring the cardiac output to a normal range. The cardiac cycle involves systole and diastole, which is carried out automatically by the nodal tissues of the heart. Hence, we can say that the heart is myogenic, which means originating in the muscles. Our body has the capacity to increase or decrease cardiac output whenever required. This is because the nodal tissues which induce cardiac activity are controlled by medulla oblongata of the brain, by the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves of ANS. When the sympathetic nerves increases cardiac output, parasympathetic nerves acts antagonistically and decreases cardiac output and brings it back to normal. So dear children, in this module we learnt that the cardiac output or the cardiac activity is regulated by the autonomous nervous system and the hormones released by the adrenal gland. Thank you.